The X Factor is officially ended after this happened.
You are 5 seconds away from getting thrown off this stage.
But before we begin, we hope to see you stay until the end because you don't want to miss what we have in today's video. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to get future videos, and leave a comment to be entered into our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway.
Steve, good news, it's time for your final judge's verdict.
Rigging. Now, it's rare when a live show on The X Factor will 100% go as planned, but none could have gone worse than in the finale of the first series of 2004. Controversy sprung mid-series when celebrity judge Sharon Osbourne made some scathing accusations towards Simon Cowell for rigging the show by editing footage and making his own contestants look more appealing than others.
Sharon. Good luck to him. But the public should know he's a fake.
Sharon, shut up.
He's a fake.
In a 2004 interview with the Daily Mirror, Osbourne referred to Cowell as an effing wanker, and she's not going to leave because she works for ITV and not for him, but she's PO'd and he's rigged it all. Further issues later surrounded the singing competition during its finals in December, for which Sharon Osbourne received an onslaught of complaints for her poor attitude and harsh criticism toward finalist Steve Brookstein, who Cowell was mentoring.
Believe me, all that BS that he gives out every week, he's even called Simon. He's full of crap and he's an average singer. Ask everybody else on this contest.
And despite her problematic nature throughout the first series, she did return the following year to stick it to Cowell even more.
The name of the act I'm sending home tonight are the Conways.
The Conway Sisters. These are the moments that reality TV are made of. As aforementioned, throughout most of the series, it's known that judges Walsh and Osbourne were somewhat conspiring against Cowell after the year one fiasco. In a shocking turn of events, the fifth week of performances by the contestants, Walsh decidedly voted to keep the Conway sisters on the show rather than Osbourne's act, as well as audience favorite Maria Lawson. The jaw-dropping decision came as a huge shock to, well, literally everyone watching, and Osbourne stirred up more drama as well when she'd accused Walsh of only choosing the Conway sisters because of their Irish background. However, the decision didn't matter when, after 3 consecutive weeks of being in the bottom, Simon Cowell would end up voting off his own act. The Conway sisters and Cowell never shared a close relationship, and as far as we know, it's the first and only time that a judge is given a boot to their own contestant.
First up is Gio Godley.
I believe I have the X Factor because I sing, write, produce, and play.
Gio Godley versus the FCC. Now, I promise you that no genitalia were exposed in the making of this script. However, more issues flooded the X Factor when at the 2011 premiere auditions, a man known as Gio Godley exposed himself to the audience and viewers at home during his performance of I'm a Stud. Thankfully, the first round of auditions are pre-recorded and edited, so there was a big fat X over his nether region. Although the moment did cause an outcry by Parents Television Council, stating that families were led to believe that the X Factor would be a family-friendly program. Instead, they were assaulted by graphic nudity. In fact, Judge Paula Abdul walked out during the performance, apparently becoming physically ill by what happened. The Federal Communications Commission responded to the claims, and Fox as well as X Factor show producers were hit with a small slap on the wrist for the indecent moment. Perhaps Godley would have been better off performing the FCC song from The Family Guy.
Yeah, really well. What's your name?
Frankie.
Frankie
Kokoza.
Frankie Kokoza.
Frankie Kokoza. Walsh would say it best. The only thing big about Frankie that we saw in X Factor was his hair. Frankie Kokoza competed in the 2011 season of X Factor UK, boasting an eccentric yet lovable personality with strong vocals, though you have to question the purpose of those 7 tattoos on his bum. Regardless, it's hard to deny Frankie didn't at least change a lot through the competition, but not in a good way. Essentially becoming a wannabe rock star with too much eyeliner and big hair, we can only assume the pressures of his up-and-coming fame were what led to his downfall. Each performance of Kokoza's gradually got worse.
I've got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's gonna be a good night.
And we were so doubtful that he would have won, but his scandal of being ejected from the series is what's so striking. Frankie broke the golden rule, and while backstage, show producers overheard the boy bragging about doing cocaine while on a sexual conquest. The story led him to attaining the nickname Frankie Coke Up the Nosa, and the otherwise ruined his reputation. Although, in a future Extra Factor interview, Kokoza realized his mistakes and did seem rather apologetic.
Every single time I do,
Jake Sims of Stereo Kicks. In a group of 8 artists, it's crucial to stand out. In 2014, when Stereo Kicks came along, none could have done it better than Jake Sims. But for all the wrong reasons. Namely, because Jake caused a bit of drama after posting but promptly deleting an inappropriate photo of himself on Twitter while on the show. The boy would also brag about his illicit drug use on Twitter, going as far as to post a photo of himself lying on a hotel carpet while high off of ketamine, aka horse tranquilizer. Quote, because stuff like that is totally tubular, dude, end quote. Performance-wise, the band did do an adequate job, and if not for Sims' misdemeanors, perhaps they could have gone on to win.
I'm Mason Noyes, I'm 22, and I'm from Birmingham.
Mason Noyes. It's one thing to make people angry and easily trigger the judges on the X Factor, but to go after the raging army of directioners back in 2015 is something else entirely. Mason Noyes was off to a strong start after his first audition, and despite placing low in the early weeks, did show a lot of potential and was even considered the underdog. Noyes just had one major flaw, which was his ego. Coming up in the controversial 6-chair challenge, Noyes felt it necessary to address his concerns over only having a near minute-long time slot during his audition, whereas some had 5 to 10 minutes.
With the first audition I watched on Saturday, people had 10-minute slots, and I went to 47 seconds.
He understandably felt underappreciated and butted heads with Simon Cowell. The judges nor the audience appreciated his attitude, and after being told to leave, he dropped his microphone and walked off. What's more is that Noyes never appeared at the Series 12 X Factor finale, and he pitifully went after Cowell's own Liam Payne over Instagram when he captioned a post with, "One of the highlights of my experience, meeting one of Harry Styles' backing singers."
Good luck.
Poor audition conditions. Despite what you see on TV, there's been anecdotal evidence showing how poorly planned auditions are. In 2016, one auditionee by the name of Daisy Gill exposed the X Factor after claiming to have been handpicked by show producers and researchers to appear on the panel. However, she alleges to being treated essentially like an unpaid extra because she never got to sing, despite waiting in line for 9 hours without any food. What also stood out was that those with family and friends would end up auditioning. And as it turns out, there are actually a set of pre-auditions, meaning a handful of people are hand-selected prior to the event and receive that special privilege of possibly appearing on television and moving on to boot camp. Meanwhile, it would seem as though others are simply lured there to make the audition seem more appealing.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win, but on me that's a sin.
The No Hopers. With such a lengthy yet flawed audition process, you have to wonder how we still manage to see those bad performances. Commonly referred to as the sad No Hopers.
Nobody but you, body by me, body by us, bodies together.
It's claimed by a handful of journalists that some contestants are deliberately brought into the televised auditions to add comedic value. Talk about exploiting people's hopes and dreams.
Bad news.
It's all right.
Under pressure. X Factor fell under further accusations of staging and rigging after Caroline Poole was sent home in the Week 1 live event. Rumors would spread accusing show producer Richard Holloway of interfering in the judging process after he was seen backstage with Walsh following Poole's final performance. Walsh seemed terrified and conflicted when presenter O'Leary would ask who he wanted to boot, and sent the decision to a deadlock. Poole would be eliminated, and the studio and audience were outraged. One X Factor contestant even voiced his concerns over Twitter, saying, "The X Factor just showed the whole country how set up it is. Not that we didn't know that anyway. The producers mess it." And with that said, it concludes why the X Factor has officially ended. Feel free to comment below what you thought about today's video and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications to get more film-focused videos like this one in the future, and have yourselves an excellent day.